All right, hi everyone. Good evening. My name is Audrey. Thanks so much for being here. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my studio as well. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Thanks so much for being here. I have a couple, maybe just one-ish, 1.5 announcements. So I've been working on something that I feel like would be a great benefit, especially to the watercolors out there, but even gouache artists or any water-based mediums. But actually, you know what? You can use it on acrylic paint too. But anyway, sorry, I was just hugging my cat, so now his fur is like all over my face. Anyway, so I wanted to show you guys. This is something that I've been working on. You ready for the reveal? 3, 2, 1. Drum roll. Ooh, look at this. Isn't this so pretty? So basically, this is just, all these little watercolor tubes, and it was definitely inspired by, where did I put them? The tubes that I painted. Oh, they're all the way over there. I'll grab them later. But this was inspired by the tube drawings that I did for the Holbein granulating watercolors. So check out that review video if you haven't already. But I got a couple questions saying like, hey, is that a stamp? Did you draw it? Yeah, did you print it or something like that? And so I thought, okay, why don't I take this idea and then turn it into something that'll be helpful, like a resource for people. So sorry, I keep touching my face. I still keep feeling fur. So anyway, so this is an 8x10 size paper and there's 48 colors. So I just did my Holbein watercolors because I have 48 colors. So I thought like this would be a great test for it. And then I did it somewhat in rainbow color order a little bit. But anyway, the way that I'm designing it, I'm designing like a lot of different layouts or templates, if you will, because not everyone has 48 colors, right? Sometimes you only have 5 or 6 or, something like that. But I'm going to make it so that you can print it on regular paper, all right? So something like this. So this only has 24 tubes, and then it has a line at the top so you can write down the title or, whatever paints you're working with. And then, so you can print this on regular paper, right? This is very thin and wobbly. So you can print it on regular paper and then use a light pad, which is my preferred way of doing it, or use a sunny window. So then you just place your watercolor paper on top, right? Place it against a light pad or a sunny window. You can tape it so that it stays put and then just trace it. So you can either trace it with a pencil and then outline it with a waterproof pen, or just go in there directly with a waterproof pen. So anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna do like 24, but this is the 48 color tube, or yeah, 48 tube set. So yeah, and I'm gonna come out with smaller pages too. So in case you want to make them like 5x7 or 4x6. I'm going to have lots of different sizes, lots of different amounts possible, so that, and they're all going to be like in one file as a download in my shop in the future, very soon. I really hope to have it ready by this weekend, but we'll see. But yeah, so I think like this will be really, really helpful. Yeah. Hi, Vandana. Hi, Simply, or Kiwi. Hi. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that is, I look like Blackpink's Rosé. That is a high compliment. Wow. I don't even have blonde hair. Thank you so much. That's a very high compliment. She's so pretty. But anyway, so look out for this product. Again, it's going to be a digital download, and there are going to be lots of different sizes. I really think that this is going to be a really helpful resources. And also, look how pretty it is. And this kind of got me an idea of like doing other versions where it's not just paint tubes, but maybe I do leaves, because I love to paint leaves for my swatches. So just more creative ways of swatching your paints. So look out for that. But this is like version 1, I guess. Anyway, so I just wanted to announce that. Okay, today we are going to do some more mixed media, and I thought about, so I thought about going back to landscapes. So remember how I did these landscapes, and let me move this out of the way. Remember how I did these landscapes, and these were more kind of like color studies. So I limited my color palette, and then I did like a bunch of different, landscapes and stuff. Yeah, I love this page especially. So I thought about going back to landscapes, but this time, you know, doing it more in a, like I'll still use a somewhat limited palette, but try to paint it more true to color, if you will. Yeah. Hi, Sherry. Oh, yay. I'm glad. Thank you for the feedback about the templates. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I know you paint with oils, but I think, yeah, you can use this on anything. You know, I've seen people paint with acrylic paint on watercolor paper, and especially when it's like really nice and thick paper. Yeah. I also thought about a future product is that, you know, if you're interested in Holbein watercolors, especially like they do have dot cards of all of their watercolors. But if you wanted the dot cards for like the luminous watercolors or the granulating watercolors, they don't have dot cards for those yet. And so I thought about like making, you know, dot cards of my own and then, you know, having them in my shop as well. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the chat or let me know in the comments. Like, I think that would be really cool because I know that they're expensive, but I really feel like they're such high quality and I don't want people to miss out on them, you know? So let me know. Hi, Linda. Thanks so much for being here. Okay, you guys. So let's get into landscapes. So let me see. I do have my Pinterest page up. Yeah, so you can see all of my inspiration here. I kind of added some of these last minute ones and I just wanted to do like a full spread. So like little vignettes, you know, and then have them somewhat color coordinated, but not really. So I have all of my water brushes here. I do have my watercolors on hand just in case. But I have this handy dandy little caddy that I showed you guys last time that it fits all of my neo pastels. These are some of my favorite, like most used colors for the brush pens or the water brush pens. And then of course my color pencils. You guys, my cat is so crazy. Do you see these teeth marks on these, on this color pencil? I don't know if you can see that, but he is something else. Okay. So I'm gonna have just all of this sort of hanging out and yeah, go for it. So I'll turn on music, but if you guys are curious about anything that I'm using or, you know, just any questions in general, please let me know. Hi guys, thanks so much for being here. Aw, I love it when you guys say hi to each other. It's like we're making new friends. I really like it. Okay, so I have some music on, but again, feel free to chat, ask me questions. I can always come off the mic when I need to. All right, see you in a little bit. Wait, Kiwi, I just saw your comment about Severance. Okay, let's talk. Yes, season one was incredible. Season two, I do feel like maybe the directors or the writers were kind of influenced by all the all the theories that were out there, or maybe it's my fault for watching all the theories, but I really felt like there was something to something to that. And I feel like that's sometimes what ruins it too, because people are just like watching the theories or following the theories instead of just enjoying the show for what it is. So I don't know if that was your case, Kiwi. I'm not blaming you for, watching the theories or anything like that. But sometimes like that kind of ruins it too. Unless there was something else. Oops, that doesn't have an angle. Unless there was something else about this show that you, particularly didn't like, then I'd still love to hear about it. Okay, some of my stuff is like really small, and so I'm not depicting it perfectly, but that's okay. That's not the point. But I really did enjoy season 2 of Severance. If you haven't watched it, you guys, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's on Apple TV. I really did enjoy season 2 because you really got to see more of the like backstory, and then because like the characters are also now like intertwined more and more, it gets more and more twisted. And so I think that's why I enjoyed it. But yeah, there were definitely parts of it where I was like some parts felt really slow because I think they needed to like develop, like more of the characters or something. But yeah, some parts definitely still felt slow. Hmm. This is so watery. Oh, the storyline just didn't interest you anymore. Okay. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I'm still like, thank you for still giving it a shot. Like I said, it's not for everybody, but it is one of the few shows that just had me just gripped and glued to the TV. It's been a while since I've really felt like that with anything. Yeah. Some of these purple flowers are going to be really hard to like make like distinctive. I feel like I should have done the background first. Oh well. I'm just keeping things like really loose. Like I realize that in these sketchbooks, I tend to like overthink things. And so I'm really learning how to just, yeah, really just keep things loose. I think maybe I'll just go in there with the Neocolor Pastel just a little bit. Kind of like fill in. Yeah. Kiwi, yes. When Life Gives You Tangerines, yes. So that is definitely on my to watch list. Oh, for sure. I'm kind of dreading watching it because I know it's gonna make me cry a lot. Yeah, we'll see. I might need to like, yeah, devote just, I don't know, clear my whole calendar or something because I don't know if I can handle it. Yes, I've heard that it's definitely a tearjerker. I don't know the exact storyline, but yeah, those kinds of stories definitely get me going. Ooh. Well, I do like how these are just kind of like popping out there. So I'm gonna soften these edges a little bit. Yeah, prepare yourself for some tissues. Yep, that's what I hear. Just gonna soften these a little bit. Because I'm using mixed media paper, I really can't like use too much water. It just gets a little bit too heavy. Ugh, I forgot paper towels. That's okay. Yeah, but I'm gonna go in there with a darker green and just add some more. Like there's a lot of like leaves that are coming out, but I don't want to add too much detail. So I'm just going to simplify it to just like these little grass-like elements. I think this will help just kind of give the illusion of like depth. Right? It just already kind of like deepens some of the like perspective. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I normally wouldn't paint, but I've been really trying to like challenge myself and yeah, just try different things because I realized that I've yeah, sometimes just take things a little bit too literally. And you know, that's not a bad thing either, but I'm learning how to kind of like see with my own eyes, if that makes sense. I want to try to practice like just like looking at a subject and yeah, painting it or you know, depicting it like only in the way that I would, you know. And I feel like that's kind of what I want to try to help others like understand as well. I was going to add the sailboat, but I'm actually not going to because I feel like it's going to look really out of place. And I love this like hard edges that's happening with the watercolor there. So I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to brighten this roof here. Yeah, I like that much better. Yeah, thank you, Kiwi. Yes, I love, yeah, this whole sketchbook, I've been doing mixed media. And so, yeah, I'm really enjoying using both the wet and the dry media to just really loosen up and, yeah, just really explore. So, wow, I love this. You know what I just forgot? I totally forgot to finish my sky. I like left some space and then I completely forgot. So let's add in some of these clouds. Let's switch to this really light pink color because there's some pink like along the horizon. It's going to leave some areas just intentionally white. Maybe go in there with my really light gray. That's it. Again, I don't want to overthink it. Alrighty, guys, let me turn on some more music again. Thanks for the chat, Kiwi, though. I love it. Okay, I think I'm at a good stopping point. Oh, hi, Kiwi. I mean, bye, Kiwi. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let me just zoom in a bit so you can see some close-ups. Whoa. Okay. All right. So yeah, let me just kind of walk you through my process. So first of all, I decided to, just kind of do smaller vignette, like not just all landscapes. I think, I just wanted to kind of put things together that, I don't know, just made sense to me, or the colors make me happy. Who knows? There's no logic in this. But yeah, I definitely started with this landscape, and I was definitely struggling through these flowers. But I think once I added like the dark green in between, that really made everything just kind of come together. So I'm really happy about that. I love purple cone flowers, or they're more pink, but yeah, I love this flower. They're native to Illinois as well. So it's a really good flower to have blooming, especially here in the Midwest. Yeah, but I felt like this kind of complemented these purple flowers here, so that's why I put them there. There were daisies in the photo, but you can pick and choose whatever you want. And then this made me super happy because I didn't get to go to the tulip farm this week or this year, so I just wanted to, I don't know, do this so that, I don't know, maybe it'll motivate me to go next year. But I kind of want to go to the sunflower farm. I was talking to somebody about that at one of my workshops this past week. So yeah, I couldn't fit flower farm. I did not plan that very well. I also kept writing when it was still wet. So that's why the S is kind of, yeah. But this probably made me the happiest just as I was doing this, because I really didn't intend or didn't think that it would turn out okay. Like I have some, like it's hard for me to do perspective sometimes because again, I didn't go to a formal art school. And so yeah, trying to make the walkway, seem like it's farther away, and still trying to capture like the greenery without bogging it down with too many details, so just a touch of the flower colors here, and then just layering dimension onto the pathway, and then adding little tufts of grass just to indicate that this is a grass. And then the weathered look on the fence, I think adding the black really helped because it was kind of getting drowned out by the dark green. So this was probably my favorite, and this was probably the most challenging part, although this was challenging too because again, it's just, yeah, landscapes are just hard for me. But just with each page I really am learning, and yeah, we should always be proud just for showing up. So I'm really happy that it came out. Yeah, thank you so much. Well, what do you guys think? So the mixed media supplies that I used today were the Neocolor 2 Aquarels. I used the Zig Clean Color Real Brush. I also used the Tombow Dual Brush Pen a little bit as well. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not focusing. I also used this a little bit as well. And then I obviously used my Caran d'Ache Pablo color pencils. And I did use a Posca marker one time just to add some details on here, but I'm really liking the acrylic pen as well. So one tip that I learned from, I think it was a YouTube or maybe it was a blog post, I don't quite remember, but when you're using these kinds of paint pens, where you have to, squeeze or press down in order to get the ink out or the paint out. After you do that a couple times, right, to get it flowing, do it one more time with the pen facing up and then the paper towel on top, and that'll help kind of get rid of like the excess and the I don't know what to call it, like the backflow in here. So that's what I've noticed when I've been using these paint pens, and that really helps. Like, let me just add just like a couple details here and there. Yeah, so that's really helped me not get like globs onto my paper. So try that next time you use these kinds of pens. Yeah, I love using these acrylic paint pens now because, they're very opaque, and so it just adds even more, like dimension to your work. Like, look how much this stands out. Like, this goes over my colored pencils and Neocolors. You definitely don't want to overdo it because it's very powerful. And I can't water this down, right? So what you see is what you get. Yeah. All right. Well, I had so much fun making this page. I'm quite impressed and amazed that I even did this, but this is such a good exercise for me just to trust the process and yeah, just go with it. So let me quickly just take my screenshot. Okay. Well, so this is the last of the month or the last live stream of the month. If you get on my newsletter, you'll get to download my free digital wallpaper that I always send out. My emails go out on the first of the month, so make sure to sign up. I'm pretty sure the link is below in the description box. But if not, like go to my website and just like click on freebies, like you'll find everything. Let's see. Yeah, and I really hope to have this template ready by the 1st. So look out for that. If not, it will definitely go live sometime in July or in June. I also wanted to, record a couple of videos on how to like use this and things like that. So that's why it's kind of taking me a little while. But yeah, so let's see. In June, I don't think I set all of my dates yet. So let me see. One moment. Let me do my calendar. So June is a little nuts because I have, so if you saw my latest vlog, I usually, do, because I'm a teaching artist, I usually do workshops like a couple times a month, and my average is like 2, maybe 4. Like 4 is usually like max, or like 5 is usually max. And yeah, but my average is like 2 or 3 workshops a month, which is like pretty good. And it's not too crazy on my schedule. In the month of June, you guys will not believe this, I have 10 workshops. And some of them are on the same day. So it's like a super long day. So don't ask me why or how this happened, but it happened. So I'm trying to figure out when I will go live. I'm not sure at the moment because, like I said, my schedule is jam-packed, but I will definitely let you guys know. I think for the most part, I might be able to go back to Monday nights because I usually don't do programs or workshops on Monday nights. So I'm going to tentatively say that I'll be live on Mondays. So the next time I'll be live will be Monday the 2nd. But yeah, if you get on my email list, then you'll know for sure. And obviously check the community tab and then you'll know for sure as well. Okay. But Thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, do something that gets your creative juices flowing today or this weekend. And I'll see you guys next month. Okay, bye.